'Twas the week of Wrestlemania, and up and down the card, Triple H was thinking pensively, this shouldn't be too hard. The Wrestling with Egos boys were anxious and saying their prayers in the hopes that some five-star classics soon would be there. The wrestlers were preparing with training and good nutrition, trying their best for these moments to come to fruition. Isaac, Patrick, KD, and I planned to sit on our couches and snack on some food rescued at last from its pouches. Where just 30 days ago, the build seemed somewhat tame, but all of a sudden there's plenty of stellar matches to name. Becky Lynch teams with two legends she loves to extol to face off against Bayley and Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
Omos gets his chance to prove he's legit by fighting Brock Lesnar for a brief little bit. Bianca Belair has had a transformative reign, but she needs to take heed of Asuka's mist shower again. Dominic Mysterio has become a smarmy heel right before our eyes. Will a victory over Rey be his Mania prize? And lest we forget that our host is The Miz, he may turn one segment into some sort of quiz. More rapid than chest chops, he'll give us the rundown of each WWE superstar who won't wrestle after sundown. Now Tozawa, no Otis. Now Benjamin, now Piper Niven. Hey, these Mania matches are earned and not given. On with you to catering. It's just down that hall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As the two nights move on, we grow weary of waiting to see the resolutions of stories we're anticipating. Edge steps into Hell in a Cell to face Finn Balor. The perils their encounter must be faced with valor. Rhea, or is it Mommy, has decided to dare to test herself against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Austin Theory must strive to prove he is the now, but beating John Cena, I just don't know how. With Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus, Patrick doesn't care about pins, as he's famous for saying, last guy to die wins. Seth Rollins wrestles Logan Paul. Both want to steal the show. With their track records, I have a hunch I know how that will go. And you're saying, Brian, there's two matches left that carry with them perhaps the most emotional heft. Well, you're right. The Usos will battle Owens and Zayn, two guys who are links in an unending chain. The American Nightmare has proven indeed he's just the sort of challenger that Roman Reigns needs. The more I think about it, I just have to predict that Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody are my picks. I'll end it there, but I feel I should still say, welcome to Wrestling with Egos, where Wrestlemania is our Christmas day.
Wow, done.
I like
Wow,
that.
done.
So I'll jump in with that and let Brian have a quick breather. Welcome to
Wow.
Wrestling with
Round of
Egos.
applause, everybody.
Round of applause.
All-
So that's
all
wonderful.
right.
And my name is Patrick, and I am joined each and every week by my three cohorts in this four horsemen of madness that is this wonderful podcast. Big Isaac, KD from across the pond, and the Lanny Poffo of Wrestling with Egos. The intellectual savior of this show, my best friend Brian. Gentlemen, well, we'll leave our poet laureate out for just a moment. The Maya Angelou. Well, no, I can't go that far. I'm sorry. No, can't go that far. We'll
Stop.
stick,
Just
Can
stop.
I
we'll
just
stick
say,
with, we'll stick with Lanny Poffo.
can I just say,
Um,
I find it
yeah.
extremely funny then that Brian was rimming Roddy Piper.
For the love of God.
Yeah.
3 minutes in.
I'm sorry, I've had an energetic day.
Yeah, of course. Isaac, KD, how are we, gentlemen?
We're good. We're ready to go. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it.
Look at it this way, boys and girls. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or you're listening to us on any of our podcast affiliates, whether it be Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, we would say Anchor, but they're part of Spotify now. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the show. please like, subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, 5-star reviews, comments.
Just do it.
If you even want to go as far as to send us money, we'll create a Venmo and we'll give it to you. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
Take American, English, but none of that fake toy money, Canadian.
Yes.
None of that.
Well, well, KD, your friends can give you money, and we could just do the conversion rate. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's easier for you guys to be a millionaire than me.
probably. I don't. I'm lost on that. I mean, I'm not a math guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Pound's gone down a lot.
I mean, I am 9,233rd of the way there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the proper planning, it could happen.
Planning and execution, boys and girls. Brian,
Yes, sir.
Very nicely done on that.
Thank you. I was really hoping y'all would like that. And the reason I did it is there's only one reason. It's WrestleMania, King. Yeah. I mean, it's, how could I not come correct with something like that? Because this is part 2 of our Wrestling Christmas. The Royal Rumble is part 1, and then we wait eagerly for a couple months and figure out, like, gee, I wonder what's going to happen next. And here we are. It's put up or shut up time. And
hey,
I would argue that
it keeps me from singing "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year."
Well, yeah.
But it is, though. It definitely is.
I would actually argue that just as important as what goes down on the 2 nights of WrestleMania is also what happens afterwards.
Oh, yeah. And
because there's a lot riding on that as well.
And there's a lot of speculation about this year's. Lots of how should we go ahead and just say rumor and innuendo?
Yep.
Rumor and innuendo.
Let's go ahead and say it.
Yes. So, but let's go ahead and get into the card. And no, we're not going to go match by match and go, oh, I think so and so is going to win. Tonight, we are discussing our confidence in each match to deliver. And it's simple: a thumbs down. Oops, I did that wrong. A thumbs down, a thumbs up, or a thumbs in the middle, or some varying degree along the spectrum.
It's good when we already fucked that up, basically.
Oh, well, it is.
Get me rewrite.
Yeah, it's late for me. It's probably late for Brian. We all know it's late for KD. So I mean, hell, it's
it's so late. It's basically early.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised on this. So let's go ahead and get started. And I just want to get the one that I'm looking forward to second most out of the way.
Okay.
Let's go.
Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus.
Oh.
Because Brian is right about what I say, but he paraphrases it. He flipped it around so it would actually rhyme. Because the line usually is first got to die loses.
Yeah, I had to make sure it fit the meter, as it were.
I totally get the creative interpretation, and I'm down with that. Totally awesome.
That was the verse that took me the longest to write. Believe it or not, I was stuck on how do I get this match in there. A, how do I keep the length the same? B, because I had, I'll take you behind the curtain a little bit really quick, if I may. I actually had the original poem, Clement Clark Moore's The Night Before Christmas, to see, because I didn't want it to be too short, didn't want it to be too long. I wanted to keep the length the same, and I wanted to get to the major matches. I wasn't going to talk about every match, but I'm like, that one took me the longest, and that was the one that had the most rewrites as well. And then I remembered your line about first guy to die loses, and I'm like, okay, but that doesn't rhyme with, that doesn't fit. And then I'm like, oh, there's no, not pins wins. Oh, I got it. So
yeah, do you guys
very
know
stream of consciousness.
Do you guys know where I got that line?
Which one?
Is it from a Schwarzenegger movie?
Nope.
No.
The line, the second half of the line is what from the movie is what I use. First guy to die loses. The full line is, let's settle this the old Navy way. The first guy to die loses.
Is it like a Top Gun or something?
Hot Shots Part 2.
Okay.
Uh,
Don't think I've seen either of them or any of them.
They're funny. No, don't get me wrong. They're not nearly as funny as like the Police Academy movies, but they're
Oh,
still
they're classic
funny.
though. Yeah, that's hard to compare to them.
Yeah, very much so. So anyway, I want to talk about that match in terms of how how much it's going to deliver against its own expectations. And I think for me, I think that's kind of where my mindset is on a lot of these shows. All right, like we have the baseline expectation. Is it going to exceed it, or is it going to be right along with it, or is it going to fall short? So for me, this is going to be where a lot of people talk about, like, let's look at AEW for a second and like ladder matches that the Young Bucks are in. Those are going to be spot-filled car crashes. That's what they are. That's what the Young Bucks do. This is going to be like that Smash Mouth wrestling version of a car crash.
Yeah. Well, when you say a car crash, you don't mean like a bad one, like a fun one to watch.
Just carnage.
Yeah.
And
There's entertaining car crashes.
My expectations just seeing this on the card is holy crap, this is going to be nasty. And I think that no matter how high I've raised the bar on this, I think it's going to exceed it. I think this is going to be one of the matches that when Sunday night is over, we're still talking about these three gentlemen beating the unholy hell out of each other.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you because, and here's why. It's taken me, well, this notion has not taken me a long time to arrive to. If you ask me right now, pick one guy who's the future of WWE, it's Gunther. And because he is in every way, shape, and form a throwback. He can adapt to whatever style you want. He's not out of place in the ring with a smaller guy. He's not out of place in the ring with a big guy. Like when he got in the ring with Lesnar at the Rumble this year, it made sense. He's in the ring legit. When he was in the ring with Sheamus last year at Clash in the Castle. Even though the match didn't hit me the same way it did everybody else on the show, it made sense. And the fact that he was the Iron Man in the Rumble this year, you don't give that to the person who's going to be in catering in a month. They obviously have designs on making Gunther the next huge star. So I have full confidence in this match also, that even though it might not be the kind of match that Brian seeks out for reasons that I've already shared with everyone and disclosed with everyone, it's still going to be a barn burner in its own way. So I have full confidence in this one.
I have noticed there is always one person, or it probably won't be the case now because it's Triple H, so it just doesn't, necessarily, it's not going to be like this anymore. But I noticed before, like every year, there was always one person that wasn't used very much in the build to Mania and wasn't really on Mania much, but then they would push him afterwards. Like I remember Braun Strowman did it once.
You're right.
But that will probably disappear now, in the same way as the Monday after Raw. The Raw after Mania was kind of lackluster. It feels more important, like one of you said earlier, just for the fact that it feels like we're probably going to actually get a proper Raw after Mania again.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that getting a proper Raw after Mania, I think we can blame COVID for or as we affectionately referred to it on this show, global pandemic bastard.
Yeah.
But,
check out the Wrestling with Eagles merchandise store for your global pandemic bastard T-shirts. They're selling like hotcakes.
We did miss the boat on that one, but I think this is going to be the first Mania since we've come back from COVID, where the Raw after is going to be the Raw after.
I think it started even before that though, because it was before that you had the Bar was like the surprise taking on Kofi and Seth Rollins, I think it was.
Yeah.
After they'd won. So even then, that was years ago.
True. We haven't had. You're right. We haven't had a good Raw, but I got a feeling that's going to be different this year.
Yeah.
So show of hands on the Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus match. I'm going thumbs up, even against my own lofty expectations.
Yep.
I'll go full confidence too.
Same.
And Isaac is in agreement as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, this match
He's
is
going
gonna
all the
be
way out of
this-
fame. Jesus, look how high Isaac's is.
Yeah,
Statue of Liberty over here, boys. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
this match is gonna be uncomfortable. Isaac, on this one,
Yeah.
last word.
This is just gonna be big men slapping meat. That's what we want. This is and as they say, here we go. That's what's happened. That's what's up.
Who's
The
got
aftermath
one?
is going to be beautiful. The photos the next day of their backs and stuff and their chests. Oh,
Oh God, that's making
Yeah.
me cringe right now.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Show me the bruises. Show me the carnage. I want to see somebody with a bruise that looks like, a roadmap of Germany.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, I got one for you.
All
All
right.
right, now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna bring this out. This is Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
yeah. Good.
Now, I'm gonna sit here and I'm bringing, and I need to know from you, from me personally. I'm not feeling it because I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. I think that I think Brock is actually gonna take the pin and give Omos the rub because he needs it. But I'm not confident in the Brock doing it the right way. And as a quick side note, I'm still kind of mad at Brock. And the reason I'm mad at Brock is specifically because they could have done Brock and Bobby could have done something really, really special. And that 2-second match was, I can't even say horrible, because it was beyond that. So I'm gonna throw it out to you guys first off. What confidence do you have at this match even meeting up to expectations? For me, I can't put thumbs down far enough. For me personally. Patrick,
I will jump in real quick on this one because I need about 15 seconds to get what I got to say out. How much confidence do I have in this match? I'm not going to give you thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs in the middle. I'm going to give you 0. The only way this Brock Lesnar match could be dumber is if it were WrestleMania 31 against Ambrose.
Mm-hmm. That looks better on paper.
Hey, Brock, yeah, it looks great on paper, but Brock's going to get his shit in, and whether or not he decides to work with Omos is going to be a completely different story. I don't think he's going to put him over. I think it's just going to be, I got to get my shit in and I'm going to get paid.
All I needed to know about this match, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, when the spot where Omos threw Brock out of the ring was botched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That confirmed everything I needed to know about this match.
Now, I will say something. I saw a couple of different people break this down. That's not on Omos.
No.
That's on Brock.
That's on Brock.
I agree, but we say on Wrestling with Egos a lot, it's all about your dance partner.
Yeah.
And you both need to work together to sell the match on its merits. And in that instance, that was your first real physical altercation between the two, and it went over like a fart in church. So it's just not. And my feelings about Brock Lesnar are well known, and I don't really gravitate towards guys like Omos because, unfortunately for me, I look at Omos and I see Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, guys like that are muscle-bound, land-bound, uncoordinated, and they're only there because of a certain individual's predilection for that kind of body type. And that's the only reason they're there. And I get it. You need all kinds. Not everybody can look like Edge. Not everybody can look like Johnny Gargano. Not everybody can look like, insert name of other wrestler here. You need all shapes and sizes because this goes back to the carnival days.
Naked Midian.
Curiosities and stuff like that. But this one is going to be my bathroom break match, probably.
Oh.
For me, there are a few matches on this card that are bathroom breaks. This isn't the only one. So I think we're all in agreement.
I agree with everything you have all said, but I am highly in disagreement. This is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. It doesn't get one thumb up from me. This gets 2 thumbs up. I can't wait for this match. This is the amazing car crash that's going to happen. I can't wait to see a gangly arms and limbs going everywhere, being suplexed, being
We're listening.
F5'd. I am so looking forward to it.
Now, are you?
You're going to need to give us a little more than suplexes, buddy.
No. Well, hang on. I have a question because I think I know where Katie's going with this. This isn't the same. Your car crash is not the same kind of car crash as mine. Whereas my car crash is all about brutality, and your car crash is all about oh Jesus Christ, I can't watch.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Katie just wants to see the world burn, apparently.
Yes. Hey,
this match.
You've been watching Batman a little too much, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. KD woke up this morning and shows violence.
Yeah.
And that's why he's an integral part of the workings here at Wrestling with Egos. He brings the takes. Whether we like them or not, he brings the takes.
Well, let's be honest. We're talking about will it live up to our expectations? And this will definitely live up to my expectations. Undoubtedly.
I see exactly where you're going with this because your expectations are that you expect this match to be a festering turd.
Oh yes, and I will be thoroughly sports entertained.
Here's the bar graph of Katie's expectations for Brock Lesnar Omos.
Hey Brian, that's too high. Damn it.
Well, it's flatline. I got to stay in frame.
No, hey, Brian. I think what Katie's trying to say is however low the bar is raised, we're going to limbo that bitch.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I'm going to jump in there next with a match that has a lot of pressure on it to deliver, but I have full confidence in these gentlemen's ability to deliver.
I bet I know where you're going.
And you had to know that I was going to bring this match up. Finn Balor versus Edge in Hell in a Cell.
I knew it. Why? Because Samoa Joe, Bayley, Finn Balor.
Yep. They must be pushed at all costs.
All right. I have to jump in first on this because I have so many questions about this match. And I'm equally, remember how I said that Gunther, Sheamus, Drew was my second most looking forward to match?
Yeah.
This is number one.
Okay.
Because as much as Finn is Brian's boy, Edge is mine.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say that Finn's going to bring some version of the demon. I don't think it's going to be the same demon because of the fact that it's Judgment Day. I think we're going to see a much darker, sinister presentation of the demon. I'm looking very forward to see what comes to the creative madness of Finn Balor.
Crowd participation is not necessary.
No. I'm also looking forward to see to what yin and yang Edge meets him with. Because Edge is not... This is not going to be a match where Finn makes his dramatic entrance as the demon and then we just hear Metalingus by Alter Bridge and we get the same entrance from Edge. No, sir. Both of these entrances are going to be theatrical as a mother. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be greatly disappointed. My expectations just based off of that are through the freaking stratosphere. Because we're going to get, theoretically, Judgment Day Demon and maybe even Brood Edge.
That's a safe bet.
And
I agree.
those entrances could be, as Isaac would like to say, gangster.
If you needed a reminder that Edge can go there, just look at his promo from Raw on Monday,
Yeah.
where
God.
all you saw was basically his head hovering amongst the candles. You didn't see anything else. I mean, that was unsettling as all get out. In case you needed a reminder that he can go there, he went there, gentlemen.
You just got to remember his match with freaking Mick Foley. I need to remember he can go brutal, like he can go hardcore, and he might see it as his last like hardcore hurrah, you know. So he might really go, excuse my language, balls to the wall.
Oh, we've said worse on this show than balls.
Big balls.
I don't even think we're talking brutality. Which, we're gonna get brutality in this damn match, but you really want to see where Edge can go? Look at that entrance he made against Seth in the second half of last year. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was. Might have been summer.
Floor.
Huh?
He came up from the floor with the fire. He was on a ramp and came up underneath.
Yeah.
Okay. That might have been SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think it was SummerSlam.
Makes sense.
I mean, we're going to get something very dark out of Edge as well. And Finn Balor is a guy that Edge wanted to work with when he came back. How do I know? Because I went back and rewatched Edge's in-ring promo after he returned at the Rumble. And he listed a whole bunch of names. Finn just happened to be one. By the way, the people that he's worked with since he's come back were all on that list.
Okay.
Every last one of them.
And I bring the match up because you don't often get Hell in a Cell matches at WrestleMania. It's a rarity.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't, because it's its own pay-per-view now.
Yeah,
I don't. He's finally said it's not anymore, and so he actually seems to be sticking to it as well, which just gives me more confidence in him.
And I would argue that this match is going to be as equal psychological as it is physical.
Yes. Yes.
And it has to be. So, I mean, that's why it gets the thumb way up for me. I have full confidence in this match because of their creative geniuses, respectively.
If this match doesn't steal Mania, I'm going to be disappointed. That's my level of expectation. This is the match to steal it. To me, there's one other candidate. We haven't discussed it yet. I think the only other match that could steal Mania, and I'm not talking Sammy and KO versus the Usos, because that's one of the two main events. You don't steal
we don't know yet.
That's going to be the Saturday main event.
There's a lot of talk of it being SmackDown Women's title for political reasons more than anything, to have the women's main event in a WrestleMania. I can imagine that, to be honest.
And I got to be honest, if we're going to do that, I wouldn't be necessarily mad at that either.
No, I get it.
But I think as far as if you want to end it on if you're going to keep the title on Roman and you want to end night one on a good note, you put the tag titles on the line and you flip them. Because let's be honest, and we can go ahead and segue into Charlotte and Rhea while we're at it, because that match is going to deliver, and that's the other match I think will steal Mania. I think with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, you are looking at two of the 3 or 4 best women's wrestlers on the planet. Not just WWE. By the way, I still double down on this. No one in that list wrestles for AEW.
Well, for the best women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly. Serena Deeb's very good, but she's never on.
Yeah, Serena's fantastic, and if they actually used her, that'd be a different story. But they don't. For the record, Brian, in no particular order, it's Charlotte, it's Rhea, it's Mercedes, and it's Asuka.
Becky's not in there.
No, not as far as in-ring work. Mm-mm.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Becky is good. Becky's not on any of their level. Mercedes Moné of the horsewomen is the second best worker of them all. Charlotte is
Yeah.
the alpha female of that group in terms of in-ring work.
I won't
So you
disagree
got
with you on any of that.
say what?
Mm.
I won't disagree with you on any of that. I know
Nah.
that, because I was trying to think of any women in AEW who could come close, but the problem is they're just not used that often enough. I mean, Jamie Hayter's come a long way. She's not in that realm yet.
No.
Britt Baker has the charisma, but she's not tested against anybody right now.
No. Trust me, if I could, you could take either one of them and put them in WWE and they'd be fine after a while. But like right here, right now, no, I don't have any idea, any dreams of a dream match between Jamie Hayter or Britt Baker and say Asuka. No.
And
Mm.
friend of show Thunder Rosa, unfortunately, her health is a problem. That's
Right.
the biggest thing with her. I mean, she's great in the ring, but
As much as I love Thunder Rosa, I don't think I'd even at her best would I put her in that category.
I'd agree.
I mean, I think
It's
she's
fair.
phenomenal, but you're looking at Charlotte, Rhea, Mercedes, Asuka.
And do you take attitude into it as well? That's another question, because there's been some murmurs about Thunder Rosa's attitude, but there's been murmurs about everyone's attitude, so I try not to really listen too much about that.
And when I'm talking about this particular list, I am literally looking at what they bring in the ring, and that is it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
couldn't care less what kind of a promo they cut. I'm talking about being an in-ring worker. And as far as that's concerned, those four women are untouchable. There's certain names that I'm leaving out because they're freaking goddesses in wrestling. Like I will never, in terms of this list, name someone like Mickie James because Mickie James is Mickie freaking James.
Mm.
Yeah.
She's in a class all by herself.
I also am struggling to think of another example of somebody who
Ooh.
you look at them from the start of their career till the present day, more night and day than Rhea Ripley.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look at the beginnings and look at now, and it's like not even the same girl.
What day and night?
Screw the beginnings. Couple of years ago, her first WrestleMania inside the Performance Center against the exact same woman she's about to face.
Yeah.
From there to now, it's night and day. Rhea was good then. She was going to be a star then. She's bad as hell now, and she is a star now.
And I'm looking forward to this match because Rhea is finally going to do something that very few people can do to Charlotte Flair. Take her into deep water and test that cardio and test that, and that's why I think Rhea's going to win this one. I mean,
I think Rhea wins it as well, but at the same time, Brian, I have to laugh a little bit at something you just said. You're talking about someone with the last name of Flair.
I know, I understand
testing
that.
their cardio.
No, I mean, but we don't. I guess my point is the opponents don't do that often. I mean, yes, Charlotte's had great matches with a bunch of people, but they don't. They're not like they don't have the possibility of being like a 25-minute mat classic if this one has a chance to be.
Because no one's on the chick's level, dude.
Agreed. That's why I'm saying here's this opportunity now.
I mean, do not get me wrong on this. In wrestling, and especially in WWE, in the women's division, there are some incomparable athletes, freakish athletes, like Bianca Belair. But
she is very good in the ring too, to be fair.
Oh, she is. And she might be one of the best pure athletes in the women's division. But in terms of just pure athletic ability, as great of an athlete as someone like Bianca is, Charlotte's still on a different level.
I tell you,
I
one
agree.
person that I hadn't seen before, and I saw it for the first time this week, I think it was, or last week. It might have been a few weeks ago actually. And it's AEW. Taya Valkyrie. She is really good in the ring. She is smooth, like.
That first off, Taya Valkyrie has been around for a long
Yeah.
time. She was in Impact and Lucha Underground for a while. She had a very failed run in NXT, which was a
Yeah.
blessed disappointment.
Mm.
I am a massive fan of Taya Valkyrie.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully she's not one of the typical signings that happens in AEW where let's bring her out for a couple of weeks and then she's going to disappear.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I'm not watching that product now. Trust me, there are countless reasons, but that's one of the reasons I'm not watching that product.
I can
Anyway,
understand.
Let's steer back to Charlotte and Rhea because we are getting way off the rails and we got a lot more to talk about.
Thumbs up.
I'm with you on that one. Thumbs
Good
up.
on you, Katie.
I think this is one of the two that steals the entire weekend.
Actually, I don't agree with that, but it could be good.
You don't agree with that?
That it could steal the show. No, I don't agree with that. I don't think people are going to be that into it more than anything. Like, everyone loves Rhea, but everybody kind of, is really exceptionally bored of Charlotte. So people will be into it, but not particularly.
People are exceptionally bored with Charlotte, but they also pay attention to her matches because holy shit, the woman can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all tired of seeing Charlotte in the main event, but but people also know, there's a reason that Homegirl's in the main event.
Yeah, exactly.
And it isn't because of her last name. Her last name could be freaking Jones, and and she'd still be that. Who wants to go next?
Let me ask you a follow-up question then.
Okay.
Are both women's titles changing hands? Because it's only natural to talk about Bianca Asuka on the heels of Charlotte Rhea.
Bianca retains, Rhea wins.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. You know why? Yes or no? Did Asuka turn heel?
I'm not sure.
She's never really turned.
Did she cheap shot Bianca? Yes, but she didn't turn heel because she hit one shot and then left the ring. She didn't beat the piss out of her.
And she's had a couple of times the chance to miss her in the face, and she's just ruled instead. So.
She didn't turn heel.
Plus, she's over like Rover. No matter what she does, Asuka's always going to be over.
Right.
She's awesome. She's another one, to be fair, that in the ring is amazing.
She might be number one in terms of who I think is the best in-ring worker.
Yeah, she's got to be
on the planet. But Asuka didn't turn heel. It's a baby face and a baby face. And if they would have turned Asuka heel and she would have misted Bianca, oh yeah, title's gone. Bianca's screwed. But there's convolution in terms of what exactly is Asuka right now. So
I think that's just the way she likes it. Personally.
I personally think Asuka needs to be the contract killer. I think she needs Asuka is best as the unholy terror that she can be.
Maybe the reason we're not sure about a character as well, going along with that persona, a way to make it work would be she had a mouthpiece, like a female Paul Heyman. Trying to think who that could be, but
Asuka, honestly, I don't think Asuka needs a mouthpiece because she can say everything she needs to say with her hands and her feet.
By whooping your ass.
What'd you say, Alec?
By whooping your ass.
Yep.
That's you don't have. Sometimes you don't need to say much. It's like when you're punching somebody in the face. That says enough. I get it in translation.
Hey, Katie. Historically speaking, a late American president named Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Speak
Yeah.
softly, but carry a big stick." That's Asuka.
One of my next podcasts actually is about Teddy Roosevelt.
Nice.
Mm.
Make sure you tune into Katie's podcast about Teddy Roosevelt coming up.
Yeah.
KD Comedy, the first episode of Squishy Logic.
Tune into all of Katie's podcasts. They're funny as hell.
He has like 94 of them. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, gotta ask. Becky, Lita, Trish versus Damage Control.
it's something to do. I mean,
yeah, I go with that.
But you never thought you'd hear me say that. But I mean, I tend to think that they run out of ideas by the time they get around to Bailey, and it's like, okay, when Bailey, I just don't know what you're gonna do, Bailey. I'm sorry, and it's like ding dong, hello, you know. But I mean,
because the initial plan got screwed.
Mm.
Because the initial plan was gonna be Damage Control defending the tag titles against Shayna and Ronda,
got it.
but Ronda's injured. Ronda's either injured or throwing a hissy fit, or both.
She's now, her and Shayna are now in the Showcase Women's match.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, that
Okay.
happened on SmackDown too.
Okay. Well, we didn't watch SmackDown, so thank you.
Hold
for
on,
that.
I gotta go back to my poem and
Keep
add
you
that.
updated.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's quite all right.
Set that on fire.
So I gotta be honest. In terms of this match, this is my bathroom break.
Sad but true. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's something to do.
yeah,
It's not my bathroom break. I'm still interested, but I'm not expecting that much, to be honest.
the highlight of the entire match is going to be Becky's entrance. There you go. Hit Becky's music, everybody sings along, and that's it.
I really do not understand why it's Becky and Lita as the tag champs and not Lita and Trish, which makes so much more sense to me.
The only thing I can think is Trish turns heel.
Possibly.
There's a rumor that Trish is back.
Yeah.
She's going to have one more, or she wants one more run, and part of that is turn heel, work with Becky.
Huh.
And maybe take the title of SummerSlam or something.
Yeah.
Against Bianca.
Yes, quite possibly. I have little to no faith in this because, you know, Damage Control has been the biggest, you know, sad trombone in recent memory. This is Damage Control to me has been a bigger letdown than Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. And I think it could have worked if one of them had come out with Bailey last year.
Oh, it's SummerSlam,
But when
yeah.
Dakota Kai and Io Sky came out, I'm like, okay, you're making Bailey look like trash. Like she needs two women to back her up and stuff like that. Number one, I think if it had just been one other woman, take your pick. You know, I personally would go with Dakota Kai.
Yeah, do one and then do the other the next night on Raw.
Or a couple weeks down the road.
Oh, okay,
no,
yeah.
For that one, strike while the iron's hot. So I mean, oh my God, it's Dakota Kai and Bailey. Oh my God, now it's the Io Sky.
Yeah.
You know, momentum. And this match has none.
No, really don't.
Yeah, this is disappointing.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not going to be honest. You know, with the exceptions of the two matches that I feel are the main events, you know, we've got a few more matches left on the card that we haven't discussed. And I got to be honest, and you guys might blast me for this, and fine. I am not particularly looking forward to Seth Rollins and Logan Paul.
Mm.
I disagree with that one wholeheartedly.
I agree with Isaac.
Now, I guess for me, don't get me wrong, the match is going to be spectacular. But I think for me, when I watch Logan Paul wrestle,
You want to kill him.
well, I want to kill him even without watching him wrestle because I think he's one of the worst human beings on the planet.
Yeah,
You
there was
know,
Logan Paul, Hitler. They're all the same.
no. Logan
he-
Paul and a certain nurse that Brian and Isaac are familiar with, the evil ex-stepmother.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna let.
No. I'm not naming names. I'm not naming names. I'm just putting that particular person.
So you were talking about Logan Paul.
Yes, exactly.
And
Talking about terrible human beings.
Wait a sec.
The opinions of Patrick Swafford may or may not be those of Brian, Isaac, or KD.
No.
Let me get my pound of flesh in. It's literally been 1 year to the day.
oh crap!
Oh God, here we go.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Hey, that conversation that both of you guys know about 1 year ago today.
Don't worry, everyone listening. I am just as lost as you.
No, there's a lot of people who listen to this show that can read between the lines.
Oh, is it done on here? Was it? Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm just lost on my own.
We'll send you the official transcript of.
There we
Hey,
go.
don't worry, I got the clip notes before you.
We'll do a
Hey,
Craig David
there
and
we go.
fill you in later.
We will fill you in as soon as the show's over, and it won't take long.
Down with the nurse. Down with the nurse.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Got you back.
Thanks.
here's the only reason I'm looking forward to Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. So my thumb is in the middle on this one. Because you're right, the steps of the match itself, you know, the staging of the match itself is going to be great. But Seth Rollins is about the only guy now, maybe I'm wrong on this, who can take the tack of I don't like part-timers, celebrity people coming in here and thinking they can do this, and be legitimate about it. Because Seth Rollins is about as close to a lifer as the WWE has now. You know, he cut his teeth in the Indies first, but then he was in Florida Championship Wrestling before it became NXT. Brought up the Shield, did all that stuff, and he's since
married to someone else who works there too, so that's even more reason that he won't leave.
So when he comes out and says, I do have a problem with him shooting his mouth off when he's not even here and that kind of thing, and thinking he can do what we do, there's an air of legitimacy about that. And now I want to turn around and see him back it up in the ring, which I know he will because he is Seth Rollins and he always delivers more often than not.
The problem that I truly have with the match, isn't even the fact that Logan Paul is a part-timer that comes in and quote unquote tries to do this, because his matches that he has had have been very, very good. But when I look at his matches, I see a match that he has created paint by numbers over the course of several weeks, maybe even months.
Yeah.
To the point where he has trained specifically for that match.
Yeah.
Not necessarily cutting his teeth week in and week out and going down the roads and storytelling and
I mean,
all
you could argue
things that we look for.
You could argue the same thing about Reigns, though.
Reigns understands psychology, though.
No, I mean the fact that he's like not there most of the time. Like he's not on the road all the time. Like he's having a big break after only working like one Friday every 3 weeks.
I'll take this one, Patrick, really quick. Roman Reigns has earned the right to do that because there's issues with Roman that have been stipulated. They're health related, and he's before any of the lymphoma or the immunocompromised thing came to light, he was on TV every week. He was wrestling nearly every week. He was doing house shows. He was doing all that stuff. So he put in the time. And then the company decided, and the producers said, we're going to change your presentation a little bit. We're going to get you some more heel heat because you're the champ who's not here. You know, and you're sending Solo Sikoa to do your bidding, and you're sending the Usos to do your bidding, and the wise man's coming and talking about, oh, in 2 weeks the tribal chief's going to be here and stuff like that. That's an orchestrated effort to change the presentation.
Yeah.
And also, Roman has earned all of that because for the last 3 years, he has been the single best character in professional wrestling, regardless of promotion.
He was, but it's just ever since he won the title at Mania, though.
Find me a better storyline. Find me a better storyline.
Well, no, this is the thing, though. The storyline, like the Bloodline storyline, wouldn't be what it was without the Usos and Paul Heyman, because it would have had like huge gaps in the middle of it. It's the only reason it works. Like, I don't blame him at all for taking like the reduced schedule. Like, if you can, and he's probably making more money than he did before, then of course you're going to. But yeah, it only bothered me more when like Lesnar lost the title at Mania and everyone was like, oh, it's going to be nice to have a full-time champion again for all the titles, and then he's like hardly ever there, never on Raw, apart from Mania season he's been popping up a bit more.
But at least he defends the title on every pay-per-view.
No, he doesn't, though. No, he don't. There's loads of pay-per-views like they go by without him being on. Like
You're incorrect there, Katie.
No, I'm not. No,
not too long ago on Twitter, or it was posted on Bleacher Report, there was a comprehensive list of every title defense going all the way back to when he was in the angle with Jay. And it's been steady. It's been every tentpole pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, he might not be at like,
kind of big four
pay-per-view here.
The last 10 WWE pay-per-views about Roman Reigns: WrestleMania 36, Hell in a Cell 2022, Chamber 2020, Money in the Bank 2020, SummerSlam, but these are getting Day 1 2022, Hell in a Cell 2021. Got a few. Not the big four, though.
But I also look at the fact that since Mania, when they unified the titles, if I'm not mistaken, since Mania, he has been at every pay-per-view.
No, Mania last year. No, some of them were in that. Like Hell in a Cell would have been post Mania last year. Day one wouldn't have been, would it? To be fair, you know what though? Well, you're not that wrong.
Keep in mind, some of these pay-per-views were very Raw heavy as opposed to getting SmackDown involved. And Roman has never really crossed brands all that much. The main event of Hell in a Cell was Cody and Seth. That was your main event. There was no title match.
Yeah, I suppose that's... Sorry, good.
And that wasn't because Roman wasn't defending the title. That's because it was very Raw-centric.
I suppose that's the problem for me, though, because he was still the Raw champion. So whether it's Raw-centric or SmackDown-centric, he should still be there.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. But you can't blame him, though. That's the thing. You can't blame him at all.
Yeah.
All right, Katie, I got a list of 27 title defenses in front of me right here.
Okay.
Jey Uso at Clash of Champions 20, Braun Strowman on SmackDown. Yes?
Let's, and with all due respect to this, let's keep the show going on to what we're actually talking about, and not necessarily how many title defenses Roman has or has not had. The fact of the matter is, yes, he's been one of the more compelling characters in wrestling for the last 3 years, and we're not even really talking about that match. We're talking about Seth and Logan Paul.
Oh shit! Yeah, we were, weren't we?
You're welcome, gentlemen.
I, for once more, thumbs up for that match.
See, I know it's going to be an athletic spectacle, but when I see Logan Paul wrestle,
you're not made to care about it.
No, because I don't see genuine passion. I see very deliberate movement.
Right.
Great athletic movement, but all very deliberate. For him, it's a ballroom dance routine.
Yeah.
He might
That's
as
a good
well
analogy.
be on either Strictly Ballroom or Dancing with the Stars, depending on what side of the Atlantic you're on.
Oh, Strictly Ballroom here.
Yeah.
Strictly Come Dancing, you mean?
Dancing with the Stars. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show.
Yeah.
He might as well be on there because that is no, don't get me wrong. Yes, wrestling is choreographed, but to have someone like Rollins in a match is one thing, but to have Logan Paul is like having insert name of famous musician at the MTV Video Music Awards with a live performance and lip syncing. That's how I feel about Logan Paul's wrestling. It's cool, but it's about as believable as
Yeah.
Willy-nilly.
That's fair, to
Yeah.
be honest. I agree with that.
So that's my thing. It's going to be cool, but I'm not looking forward to it.
And his facials as well. He's not good at them.
True.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Moving.
ooh, I want you.
Isaac, you want to help me out on this one?
Moving on.
Thank you. Cena Austin Theory.
Oh, yeah. That's been announced to be opening the first night as well.
Wouldn't surprise me. Start off hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and I still go back to we might be thinking about what Cena said and agree with him about it, but you still don't go out and eviscerate your opponent like that.
There is one thing I agree with on John with what John Cena said that to me holds any water. Austin Theory is screwed. Because if he wins, he loses, and if he loses, he loses.
Fair.
They have literally screwed. The only way that they can salvage Austin Theory's career is if he wins in the most chicken shit heel way possible. And it's not even about saving face. It is about turning Austin Theory into a yellow-bellied coward who's just going to do whatever he can to survive and keep his title. Turn him full-blown chicken shit heel.
Unless they line him with Paul Heyman.
Oh, God, I hope not.
No, they wouldn't do that. Austin Theory can go well enough on the mic.
Not saying that he can't, but you got to give him some heat.
Right. Paul Heyman is too Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman doesn't necessarily get you heat. He says things that will get him booed, but at the same time, it's still Paul Heyman, and you're like, yeah, that was cool. That's Heyman being Heyman.
Everyone, you can hate Heyman, but you can't help but respect the guy too.
Put some respect on that man's name.
All right, baby.
So that pretty much takes care of everything except for the two main events.
And the tag matches.
Oh, yeah.
Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders.
It's four-way matches. You might as well just do the Andre Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they really may as well have.
I mean, I'm sorry, but there's no structure to these matches. It is it's chaos.
See, these are my bathroom break matches.
To me, the women's match and the men's match, I don't care which night you want to do them, both of them go on second.
Yeah. Or
And that's the
before
last
the
place
main
you want
event.
to. That's the last place you want to be on the WrestleMania card. Yeah, go out first. That's awesome. You start the show off hot. Go out second, everybody's coming down from the buzz of the first match.
Mm.
So
I'd say after the first match and before the last match are the two worst spots to be. Especially a longer show like that. Like, especially on the second day, you know.
oh yeah. So there's a reason I personally didn't mention him, because really and truly what I would, if I could, because I don't know who's in the women's match, but if looking at the men's match, if I could redo this, I'd make it a #1 contenders match between the Profits and Ricochet and Strowman. I'd cut Alpha Academy and I'd cut the Raiders. Because Strowman can work with all three of those guys. Angelo Dawkins might be one of the most underrated performers in WWE. And then on the men's side of WWE, you have the two most freakish athletes that WWE has to offer in Montez Ford and Ricochet.
Yeah.
The creativity that can come out of that a match with those guys, I'm all here for. But then you add Alpha Academy, and they're going to find some way to get Maxine Dupree involved in this, which gag me with a spoon. I will totally went Valley Girl on that one, and I don't care. And the Viking Raiders, this heel incarnation of them with Sarah Logan as Valhalla,
which makes no sense. But there's
no,
nobody.
it doesn't at all. And it's just like, okay, I don't. Yeah. So for me, having those two teams in the match kills it. Yawn.
Yep.
I think I'd rather see like a #1 contender tag team battle royal. It would have been cool. Like over the top one, you know.
Right, I agree with that, but like I said, if we were gonna do a tag match and it'd be a showcase, have a mini tournament on both sides, and whoever comes out of the Raw and the SmackDown, they face, and the winner's the #1 contenders for the tag titles. And for that, give me Street Profits and Ricochet and Strowman.
The only thing that could save that match for me is if somebody gets taken out and then you have a surprise team pop up and it's RK Bro. That'll save it for me.
That would be interesting. I was thinking, I was literally gonna say, if the New Day comes out and says there's another team that's been added to this match, so I'm sorry, but for me, 2 thumbs way down on this, because I think it's going to be a schmoz. My opinion. I mean, Brian, Isaac, you guys have been kind of quiet on this one.
Well, because there's not much to say about this. Because the fact that I didn't even write them down because I didn't know who was in the things. Okay. Because they wait until the 11th hour to book them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can't all stick the dismount in every match. But you're right when you said before, it's a way to get multiple people on the card for a payday.
And you mean time filler.
Yeah,
time filler.
Especially for a 2-day event.
Right. So one last thing, and then I have a little surprise for both of you guys. Just go around the room. Usos, KO and Sammy, Cody, Roman. Which of the two are you most looking forward to, and why?
I'm looking forward more to Roman versus Cody, because both matches are going to have the potential to be heartbreakers, if they go a certain way. But what Cody Rhodes has shown me over the past month on his promos, the tete-a-tete that he's gone through with Roman Reigns, is that he is presenting himself as every bit Roman Reigns' equal
Mm.
in ways that the other opponents during this run of his have not.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens tried like mad. I give him props, but I don't think he was ever a believable person to unseat Roman.
No.
Same with Demon Finn and regular Finn. Same with Edge and Daniel Bryan. The list goes on and on. Braun Strowman, whoever you wanted to put in there. They weren't believable in the way that Cody is believable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Fair. And I think
agree.
And I love the line from Monday. If I hear one more person bring up my father, I'm going to vomit. Let's be real. My father is not going to be in my corner at WrestleMania.
That if that's the line you're taking from Cody's promo, you missed something beautiful.
No, and that's the one that stuck out. Like watching it again, I'm sure if I went back and watched it, I'd be like, oh yeah, you said that too.
The play on words at the end of that.
Yeah.
Roman with no more Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, that was beautiful. And the one thing I love about this build-up is clearly it has been Roman trying to get in the head of Cody and then getting frustrated because he realizes he's not.
No.
Yep. Roman shook.
And I'm like, that's interesting. Isaac, you've been kind of quiet. Which match are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking for Cody to finish the job. I've really been waiting for him to get the anointment that he needs to have, that he deserves to have. I'm looking forward to that. In my mind, the tag belts are going to drop from the Usos, and Sami and KO got that already unlocked. As far as I'm concerned, it would be a nice swerve if they kept them. But at the same time, this is the time that Roman needs to drop the belt to Cody. This is what we've all been trying to sit here and do and wait for the past 3 years. And in my mind, it should happen. Would it be a giant swerve if he kept the titles? To me, yes. Mm-hmm. It will be. This is the time where you drop the belt.
Yep, agreed.
This is the moment we were talking about a year ago, and I once said, "Nah, it ain't time yet." And give him his time. Give him his flowers right now because he needs it. He deserves it. He came back. He did all the right things. He got hurt. He went through everything he went through. This is the time where he deserves to get the anointment that he deserves, and we need to do it now rather than later, if not ever.
All right. Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts on any of this before we get into my little surprise?
No, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
One thing actually that we kind of missed from Mania. How do you feel about, and are you looking forward to the Miz as host?
He'll toss up a couple zingers. It would have been wrong for me to exclude him from my soliloquy earlier because he is the host, so I have to give him his props. But he's not what this night is about.
For me, it's meh. And there's a couple other matches that have been added to the card tonight. We finally got the official announcement that it is Ray versus Dom.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But we might talk about that next week. So, gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for 3 points. First person to get 3 points wins. The winner gets the next shot at Tatum. What I'm going to do is I am going to begin naming matches.
Oh, God.
One after another.
Oh, okay.
You tell me which WrestleMania this was. I will be giving you the entire card in random order. First person to tell me which WrestleMania it was gets a point. First to 3 points wins.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Is it just the first person you hear gets the first crack at it, or you want us to buzz in with our names, or what do you want us to do?
Buzz in with your name, and then I'll
Yeah.
acknowledge you. That way,
Okay.
we're not blurting out answers.
Okay.
The Steiner brothers versus the Head Shrinkers. I'm
Okay,
not even going to give you who wins and who loses. I'm just giving you the match.
I'm not even going to bother writing this one down. KD. WrestleMania 3.
No. You're out.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you only get one guess?
Yeah, you get one guess.
Okay.
Doink the Clown versus Crush.
How can we not remember that classic?
Razor Ramon versus Bob Backlund. Lex Luger versus Mr. Perfect. I'll even go
Brian.
one better. I'll even go one better. The narcissist Lex Luger versus Mr. Perfect.
WrestleMania 8.
No.
Damn it.
Hold on.
Shit, I know what it is now.
Wait, hold on. It's WrestleMania 9.
Yes.
In Vegas.
Yes. Isaac with 1 point.
Ah.
'Cause that's the one that Hogan won the title and his eye was bruised, and that was the one where Yokozuna faced Bret Hart. Thank you.
That was such a weird ending. That was.
Very good. All right. This is gonna.
Just go.
AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
Oh. Okay.
Holy crap! This is gonna be a dead. This is gonna be a dead giveaway at some point. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio.
KD.
Go.
35?
Yes.
1 point.
Jeez, I got to get on the board.
I've already done better than I expected to do. Okay.
Ricky Steamboat
Gotcha.
versus Hercules Hernandez.
Brian.
Go.
WrestleMania 2.
Very good. 1 point for Brian.
I was about to say it. Oh, well.
Hercules back in the day was one of the few bad guys I actually liked. And I can't even really tell you why. There's something about the submissions he would put on people and stuff like that, and that like the chain he swung around all the time. I just thought he was cool.
You have to respect him after he went through all those trials, to be fair.
Yeah, the labors of Hercules.
Yeah, you know. That's a name to put respect on.
This is true. All right, for our next one. Scroll. I can't do this one. This one's too easy. No, okay.
Was
this
it
one
20?
doesn't count, but I mean, this one does not count. But I mean, Jesus, this was like how. First off, for the love of God, there's only, not counting dark matches, or dark matches of pre-show, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on the card.
Wow.
I'll pretty much give it away.
Yeah, so here's the least conspicuous match on the entire card. AJ and Paige versus the Bellas.
Okay, not AJ Styles. That makes so much more sense.
Wait, hold on.
20. 7?
No.
Get out.
Daniel Bryan versus Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, R-Truth, and Stardust in a ladder match.
Oh, 31?
Yes. See, I'm like, this was, I could literally get that. The only match that I could have given on this that would have made you guys wait was that first one. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this one.
Can we just clarify? Brian had already had a guess.
I know,
was
but
out.
he said this one didn't count, so that's
Yeah,
not
this one
Oh.
count. This one didn't
point
count.
for me.
Oh, my bad.
We're all still tied at 1.
My
Yeah.
bad.
Now this one, God, this is a small card too. But oh well, we're gonna go with this one. Trish Stratus versus Christy Hemme.
21.
Isaac wins. Isaac, you did not buzz in though.
Isaac.
All right, well, I'm still gonna give it to you.
There you go.
I'm
I
still
should
gonna
have
give
just
it
said
to
Brian
you.
in 21, and I could have stole the point.
Yeah. No, I was still giving it to. I was still would have given it to Isaac.
The tension is building within me.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Isaac with 2, KD and Brian with 1.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Here we go. Your next one. Mark Henry versus Ryback.
Oh.
Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger.
KD.
KD.
Wait, hold on. So it was WrestleMania 29.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet Lord Jesus. Holy crap on a cracker.
Don't have to call me
I
that,
was
but
gonna
thank
say
you.
27, honestly, but
That was the 40-man Rumble one.
Gotta have it.
I've been playing with y'all fools enough. Time to end this thing. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, that jumping out the sky. Oh, why, Mysterio? Here I go.
Batista versus Umaga.
Ooh.
Beth Phoenix and Melina versus Maria and Ashley.
Brian.
Brian.
23.
No.
KD. 24.
KD wins.
Yeah! I was thinking it was 22.
Congratulations.
I won something.
Sir. That's, oh my God.
For the record,
That's
Isaac,
embarrassing.
22 was actually next.
Do you want to know what's even worse, Brian? I won on a guess.
It's fair. I mean, some of the ones I buzzed in with were guesses. I knew WrestleMania 2, Ricky Steamboat kind of only meant it could be like a couple of them. Because I knew it wasn't 3, so that kind of limited the field.
We all knew it wasn't 3 because Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man Savage was 3.
Right.
That's way too obvious.
The older ones I don't know.
I was having trouble with some of these because I was like, damn, there's not really a whole lot of matches on these cards. 22 was next, and then the next one I was literally stuck between WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania 25.
I would have said if we were all stuck on all of them, start naming the WrestleMania where whoever faced the Undertaker, and we would have got that.
I was purposely
I know that's why you're doing that.
Purposely saving main event title matches and takers matches until I absolutely didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Undertaker versus Edge.
24.
Yeah, thank you.
The numbers, I always forget them.
Yeah.
They were both undefeated at that time.
You're right. They were both undefeated at WrestleMania. That is correct.
Mm.
One that I almost did when we were doing
I mean, when you said AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, I'm like, well, geez, that just happened, and I couldn't pull the trigger on 35.
right.
I was getting 33, 34, 35 all blended together for me.
You know where I almost started? I almost started with Triple H versus Batista.
That was...
Obviously, no, 21 it.
And 35.
Oh,
Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That's
Where he hit him across the face with a chain.
yeah.
And he almost passed out while getting into the ring from the excitement. That was great.
Yeah. So, well, gentlemen, it's been fun. KD, congratulations. I look
Another
forward.
crack at the champ.
I look forward to seeing you on the field of battle soon.
Oh, I look forward to it too. I should bring all my legal weaponry that definitely not will involve a big muscular man flanking you and holding you down and stealing your pen.
Oh, yikes.
He doesn't need.
Okay.
He can have my pen. He can have my keyboard. He can have whatever he wants. But the one thing he can't do is take my momentum and take my aura, because there is only one Tetum. There is only one supreme overlord of trivia. And as I have told these other two cats, I will tell you the same. Your arms are not long enough to box with God.
Fine. The more you talk yourself up, the better I'll look when I win.
Oh, no, because I've been
That is
talking
something
myself
John
up for
Cena
a
needs
year
to
and a
know.
half on this crap, and neither one of these two jabronis have touched me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I won't win, but at the same time, I'm going to destroy you.
Mike, you hear the music queued up?
Yeah, the music's
Yeah,
queued up. The
it's
music's
coming
going.
in hot and heavy.
I will say
I
one
gotta go
thing.
start making the spread for Mania.
I will say one thing. One of those two T's and T-Tim could also stand for Teflon, because nothing sticks to me. Just saying.
He is a Teflon Don.
Yes, very much so. Anyway, I love you guys. Next week, I don't know what we're talking about yet, but we have all decided that next week we're going to do something goofy. It is not going to be a WrestleMania preview. That's why we did that tonight. We're going to have some fun next week.
It might be time for the Reverse Battle Royal. I've been really wanting to see that match.
Oh, you're watching it. Wow.
Welcome to ASMR. Wrestling with Egos After Dark with Brian. I think a watch along of a crappy match is a good shout for next week. And I think the TNA Reverse Battle Royal might be the way to go. Because I just want to wrap my head around what are we even thinking here.
The Reverse Battle Royal, the King of the Mountain match. TNA had some turds.
Yeah.
Because that's another gigantic hole in my wrestling fandom is I've never seen a whole bunch of TNA. I've seen a few things, but I've seen the good stuff. I've seen the AJ Styles, the X Division stuff, and the,
You've seen Christopher Daniels. You've seen
Mm.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Kurt Angle on another plane.
You don't need to see the bad of TNA, because if you ever
just give me a taste.
All right, well, we'll give you a taste. We'll do the Reverse Battle Royal, and you're going to regret it. Hey, Brian?
Yes? You're
going to thank me for making you watch the King of the Road match after.
That's a pretty high bar, sir. That's a pretty bold statement. And I will see that action.
I know, because I have seen this match, and I know that this is a festering turd that you can't even make fun of.
Legitimately,
Here's the question, though. Is this match a stationary match? If the answer to that question is yes, then it's already better than the King of the Road match. So I like my whole cards on this situation.
I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you know it's bad when it's less believable than the zombie match at SummerSlam, whenever it was, with
Oh
the
yeah, the
Miz.
zombie match with
When the Miz
with,
got eaten.
Well,
Yeah.
that match I've seen, so I don't need to watch it again. This match I've never seen, so that's why I'm keen on watching it.
Well, first off, if we decided that we were going to watch The Kennel from Hell, even though we've all seen it, we'd still watch it again and laugh our asses off.
That's true. But we're trying to break forge some new ground here in Wrestling with Ego. So join us next week when we
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, Reverse Battle Royal.
Total non-stop assholery.
Total nonstop wabadoo.
atrocities.
Babadoo.
Wabadoo.
So until next week, as we are on the precipice of WrestleMania weekend, we will convene same WrestleMania Ego Wrestling with Ego time, same Wrestling with Ego channel. For Brian, for Isaac, for Katie, I'm Patrick. You know the name of the show, and you know what we do. This is why we love wrestling.
Wrestling.
End of that.
Wabadoo.
Wabadoo.